What's up, guys? It's Mastanger. I have not made a video in a long time, and it's 2020, and I figured it was about time to do something different. So here is a top 5 assault rifles in Afterpulse, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a lot of people with things that they like to play with, and everybody's got their own style of play. But for me and what I like to use, this is going to be my top 5 list. There are a couple guns that I'm missing, so obviously I won't be able to review those. But for the things that I like, this is going to be a pretty fun list to do. I've got some decent gameplay. I'm just playing against bots. Pretty much most of the gameplay, unless you go into rank, is bots anyway. But in order for me to do rank play, would have been, taking a long time to get the footage and all that kind of good stuff. But in any case, Afterpulse has been out for many years, and every month it seems like something new is coming out. If you look at this, as I scroll down, it's just unbelievable how many weapons that they have right now. So to go through this and narrow this down was actually kind of fun to do. And I did some gameplay. I kind of looked at it, and it actually, as I went through it, I actually changed my mind on a couple of these things. So um, I kind of knew what my top 5 was, but the order of them was something I kind of messed around with. So anyway, with nothing else left to say for the intro, here's number 5. The Wildcat. I actually thought this was going to be a little higher on the list. It's a very, very fun weapon to use, and I think that's probably why I say it's top 5. For me, it's fun. Not going to say that I'm going to go into rank and do any kind of major damage with this against some very good players. There's a problem with it, and it's something that I only noticed kind of recently. It's a burst fire weapon. It goes off in a series of 6 shots, and what I noticed when I played with it was there would be times where it just wouldn't hit, and I was just, always wondering why. When it breaks the 6 shots, if it's not hitting on one of those, it won't hit. And so there'll be times where you'll have your marker, but it won't make the shot, and that to me is a deal breaker. So good, stats-wise, very close to the Bobcat. It's one of these weapons where it's just a lot of fun to use. You get a speed boost when you reload. Who doesn't like that? If you like to run and gun, it is a fun weapon to use. Definitely a casual destroyer. One of those you get against bots or against casual players. You can just have a great time with this weapon, and it destroys. Again, against ranked, against smart players, good players with really good gear, it's not going to do much against that. You have to play a lot more cautiously, which kind of defeats the purpose because it's a lot more of a running weapon. But definitely a lot of fun to use, and definitely worthy of the top 5. As you can see by this gameplay, it's doing pretty well. The AARS. From Afterpulse 1 to Afterpulse 2 to now, one of the greatest weapons ever in the game. One of the most fun, one of the most overpowered, one of the most versatile. Just an amazing weapon. This is the A2PS, which is the special edition that came out. I just like the skin a little bit better. Honestly, they play exactly the same. Anybody that says they can feel a difference, I question that. To me, they're the same weapon. I like the way this looks. It's definitely one of those that they did a great design with. So it's a very fast gameplay weapon. You can run, you can camp. I mean, you can really pretty much do anything you want to with it. I play the same way if I'm playing bots or ranked. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to run around. I'm going to do, whatever the map demands. But I'm not going to sit still unless I'm just farming. So it's a weapon that's pretty easy to use. You just basically hold the trigger, you run around, and you hit when you hit the markers. It's not very difficult to use. Definitely better probably for mid-range, long range. It doesn't struggle up close, but it will be beat by higher rate of fire weapons, like some of the other ones that you might see in the gameplay a little bit later. This is definitely a very fun one to use. I definitely think it's worthy of a top 5. It's number 4 on my list. Some would say maybe it should be higher, but I have it at 4, and I think that's right where it belongs. So hope you enjoy watching this kind of gameplay, and number 3 is coming right up. The CQR. I bet some of you are a little surprised that this is ahead of the AARS, and I'm not sure I'd argue with you, but for me, in the way that I play, I view this as the number 3 spot. It is ahead of the AARS simply because of the rate of fire, and it is an unbelievable rate of fire. This is just a devastating weapon when you're up close. So it's very versatile in terms of it's got good range. You can hit most shots on most maps, but if you get up close with somebody, you're going to beat them. Unless you're playing somebody that's got an incredibly high rate of fire and they get the drop on you. But this is one of those weapons where if you like to move around, and again, I'm basing this off of my own gameplay and my game style, you're going to love this. It hits most of its shots. Once it locks in, it's over. You've got enough bullets in the clip where you can wipe out a squad of 3. And again, I'm going to say this again, I know I'm playing bots, but again, you can tell the gameplay just works. So, number 3, CQR. Oh, I couldn't wait to show you this one. So there's not very many people in the world that have this weapon. I got really lucky with some of the Delta crates, and there was a time where they actually offered this in the autumn crates on the black market, and I got really lucky and got 2 there, and I got 1 from the Delta crate, and with the new system was able to upgrade it and make a 7-star out of it, and it's just so much fun, and it's nice to know that I've got something that's fairly rare, not very common. Similar stats as you look at it to the AARS, and really, you wouldn't want to say again, I'm not saying why you disrespecting the AARS, I'm not. It's number 5 or number 4. It's amazing, but if you see this, it just destroys. You can take out entire squads so easily, and the rate of fire is good. In fact, it's not a super high rate of fire, but because of that and the high damage and the accuracy, the headshots are incredible. And so you can basically take out almost a squad and a half with 1 clip. So if you nail your headshots, which it pretty much does, and Dragon Gear is where it truly shines. And I did actually want to say something early on. I'm using Dragon Gear for all these weapons to kind of create a little bit of an apples to apples in terms of, the gear set not really mattering that much in terms of favoring a certain weapon or another. Using Dragon Gear with all assault, it's the best assault gear in my opinion. But again, you're looking at this, and if it's at the end of the clip and I've got 3 bullets left, it's enough to get somebody down. Maybe not somebody wearing protection or anything like that, but somebody wearing normal gear, it's going to do the job pretty much against everybody. Now, this is a little demonstration on its range. This is a spot where if I'm just farming and I'm trying to get a lot of XP for the seasonal or whatever, I'll get in this spot for close quarters and just kind of farm away. But a good opportunity to kind of show you what it can do with some range. So it's those headshots, ding, ding, ding. It's just, one of the things I love about Afterpulse is the headshot sound. It's one of those addicting sounds. Had to be the Bobcat. Was there anything else that could be number 1? Since Afterpulse 1 was first introduced, the first game that I ever played that was in rank, I played against the Bobcat user, and I had no idea what I was up against. I just knew this was a weapon I'd never seen before, and I got absolutely destroyed. Can't even remember the name of the person that was using it, but he was an AE brother, and didn't join AE till a year or so later, so it wasn't somebody that I knew, but just remember that one from the very first ranked match I ever played in Afterpulse. That was the first thing that killed me. So it is one of those things where this has been great from the get-go. It's actually seen a little bit of a buff about a year ago, as it should. It's a rare weapon, it's Echo. It should be the best gun in the game, and it is. It's got range, it's got rate of fire, fast reload, and the winter version, as you can see now with the infrared, is just incredible, especially on a map like Warehouse, which has very low visibility. I don't really use it much on all the other maps because I actually prefer the way the game looks if I don't have this infrared scope on, because it just makes it look kind of cartoony, and I love the realism of the graphics normally anyway, so I'm not going to use this unless it's a map that really calls for it. But this weapon is just, when you go to rank, you're going to see a ton of these. There's a reason why. With Dragon Gear, it's just unreal, I just can't say enough about it. One of the things I did notice is with the new gear that you can upgrade, when you turn it into 7 stars, it doesn't change the perks, it changes the port and the defense. And now that you can run really effectively with this. That's why this is by far, hands down, #1 in Afterpulse. Hope you guys don't, if you don't have a Bobcat, I hope you get one. If you have one, make sure you upgrade it and use it. It's definitely one of those things where, it's kind of iconic to the game. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, comment, leave a like. I read everything. I reply back, at least for a month or so. And I really appreciate you watching, guys.